Hello everyone, this is Roja and I'm working as a training coordinator at Global Online Training. Today we are going to discuss in detail about the Clinical SAS Programming Training. Before going in detail about the Clinical SAS Programming Training, let us have a look at Global Online Trainings. Global Online Training. To give an overview about the Global Online Trainings, the leading training services organization specializing in providing online trainings and corporate trainings to the individuals and enterprises too. Our high-quality, competitive and effective training services makes us the best in this field. Our professional team carries excellent instructional experience through many years and understands the complexity of the technology and methods of training delivery. We are providing the trainings with subject matter experts who had good experience in their primary skills. Currently, we have more tutors and all the technologies for online trainings and the corporate trainings too. And we are providing the technologies like SAP, Oracle, SAS, IBM tools, Microsoft applications, web technologies, middleware tools, and other technologies too. Now let us move to the clinical SAS programming introductions. Introduction about the SAS programming training. It is used for the clinical data integration, standardization, organizing and managing clinical research data and metadata. Global Online Trainings offers online clinical SAS programming online training for supporting all its participants in achieving promptness and competence by the mechanizing repeatable clinical data integration projects. This is a new product offering from the SAS that focuses on the pharmaceutical industry needs for the managing and verifying and transferring the creation of industry managed data structures. Here, this is the course content for the clinical SAS programming. First one is environment and guiding principles. Here we can overview of the clinical SAS programming. The top two is that the statistical programmer's working environment, statistical programmer work description, and device development process, industry regulations and standards, use the SAS macros, and a good programmer is a good student. The topic 3 is preparing and classifying the clinical trial data. The topic 4 is preparing the clinical trial data. Next one is classifying the clinical trial data in these demographics and trial-specific baseline data and constituent or prior medication data, medical history data and laboratory data. Topic 6.1 is importing the data, 7.1 is importing relational databases and clinical data management systems. Topic 8 is importing the data ACA text. Topic 9 is importing the Microsoft Office files. The topic 10 is importing XML, importing files in other data formats and transferring the data and creating analysis datasets. Next one is key concept for the creating analysis datasets. Here defining the various ones, defining study populations, defining the baselines observations, windowing data, transposing data and using the medical and other tricks of the traps in the medical manipulations. 14 is common analysis datasets, critical variables dataset and change the baseline from the dataset. 15 is creating tables and listings. 16 one is creating tables. Here, how can you create the tablet to create the clinical trial tables and using the clinical trial tables and creating the like continuous summary tables. Topic 17 is creating listings and output applicants from the options and the issues. Next one is SAS macro-based reporting systems. 19th one is creating the clinical trial graphs. And the 20th one is common clinical trial graphs. And the next one is SAS tools for the creating the clinical trial graphs. 20 sample graphs. The next one is output options. Here selecting the graphic drivers. Next one is using the SAS graph assistance and the performing common analysis and obtaining the statistics, obtaining the descriptive statistics, obtaining the internal statistics from the catalytical data analysis. Next, obtaining the internal statistics from the continuous data analysis, obtaining the time to event analysis statistics, obtaining the correlation documents and exploring the data to ATM. Exploring the data not distinct for the EDA and encryption and file transport options, multiple comparisons and multiple endpoints. Next, this is a curriculum for the clinical SAS programming. First one is clinical trial process. In this, describe the clinical research process and interrupt statistical analysis plan. The next one is clinical trials data structures. Identify the classes of clinical SAS programming training trials data. Identify the key CDISC principles and terms. Importing and exporting the clinical trials data, manage clinical trials data, transform clinical SAS programming training trials data, apply statistical procedures for the clinical trials, macro programming for the clinical trials, and reporting clinical SAS programming training trials results, validate the clinical SAS programming trial data reportings. And by end of the clinical SAS programming training, you will be expert on the following capabilities like illustrating the fundamental knowledge of clinical SAS programming training and access and manage and transform the clinical trials data and work on the analysis of the satisfied data and evaluate the results from the incomplete data. Here this is the target audience like SAS programmer, clinical programmer and the life science. The next one is how SAS work. SAS work from the SAS program, a simple program to read the data and procedure report, writing an observation to the SAS data set, four types of SAS libraries. Here this is the reading of the raw data into the SAS. What is raw data and definitions, data values, character values and the column inputs, formatted inputs, named inputs, and related blanks, separated values, method 1s, method 2s, flows over, miss over, transfer over. Before ending up the session, let us have a look about SAS Clinical Programming web page. Here, this is a web page for the Clinical SAS Programming. If you want to register for Clinical SAS Programming, click. Here is an option called Request a Demo under the menu bar. Here, this is the Request a Demo bar. Here, you can fill up your details and click the send button. Or else you can directly leave a message with your details and send to us as soon as we receive your details and get back to you and help you out in attending the demo session also. Or else you can directly email us at info at Global Online Trainings, or else you can directly call us at 914060501418, or else USA number or else UK number. You can directly call to us. Thank you so much for spending your valuable time with us. Have a good day. Bye bye.